Welcome back everyone. Today we're diving deep into episode 12 of ABO Desire the series. This teaser is one of the most explosive yet, because it takes us into a turning point in Shen Wenlang's relationships, not only with his beta secretary Gao Tu, but also with his own buried emotions toward Omegas, and possibly, his secret feelings for Hu Yong. Episode 12 is not just another step forward in the story. It's the kind of episode that changes the way you see every character. Let's break it down, explain what's happening, and look at what's coming next. The teaser begins with Shen Wenlang delivering a sharp line, "Love makes people crazy." This sets the tone. For Shen, love is not something soft or tender, it's a dangerous force that makes people lose control. He's not only referring to Hu Yong, his own entanglement, but also pointing at his beta secretary Gao Tu, who has suddenly been acting strangely. Gao Tu, the one who has always been reliable and steady, is now constantly asking for leave, talking about children and fertility, and even, shockingly, submitting a resignation letter. Why? Because he wants to take care of his pregnant Omega partner. For Shen Wenlang, this is unthinkable. To him, love is weakness, and Omegas are a burden. He cannot understand why someone like Gao Tu, who has been loyal for years, would throw everything away for the sake of an Omega. And that's exactly what drives this episode into a conflict that's not only personal but also ideological. We're going to see a direct clash between Shen Wenlang's harsh worldview and Gao Tu's newfound courage to speak up. Episode 12 will highlight a key conversation between the two. Gao Tu dares to ask Shen Wenlang about his opinion on having children with an Omega. Instead of treating it seriously, Shen Wenlang reacts with cruelty, saying that if it ever happened to him, the child would be aborted without hesitation. This response shows how deep his prejudice runs. For Shen, Omegas are just trouble, and children are just obstacles. But what's important here is not just his words, it's Gao Tu's reaction. For the first time, Gao Tu shows defiance. He points out that Shen Wenlang's words are insulting and even go against the ABO Equal Rights Agreement. This is a massive shift. Up until now, Gao Tu has always been quiet, loyal, and obedient. But in episode 12, we're going to see him stand up for his Omega partner, and in doing so, he also stands against Shen Wenlang's oppressive attitude. This moment isn't just about Gao Tu quitting his job. It's about him finally choosing his own life and his own love over the shadow of Shen Wenlang. It's about rebellion against the toxic system Shen embodies. Now, what does this mean for Shen Wenlang? On the surface, he is furious. He laughs angrily at Gao Tu's resignation, mocks his decision, and convinces himself that Gao Tu is a fool who has gone mad because of love. But beneath the anger, episode 12 teases something deeper. Shen Wenlang's obsession with Gao Tu's decision and even his fixation on the smell of his Omega partner reveals something he refuses to admit: envy. Think about it, Shen Wenlang keeps telling himself that Omegas are disgusting, that they're nothing but trouble. Yet in the teaser, he can't stop thinking about Gao Tu's life with his Omega. He imagines them lying together, he notices the lingering scent on Gao Tu, and he even wonders whether Gao Tu is good in bed. Of course, he immediately denies it, blaming his thoughts on being infected by love. But we as the audience can see what's really happening. Shen Wenlang's walls are cracking. For the first time, he's jealous, curious, and even insecure about what it means to love and be loved by an Omega. This is where episode 12 will shift the spotlight back to Shen Wenlang's unresolved feelings for Hu Yong. Remember, Hu Yong has always been the Omega who unsettles him the most. The drunken night they spent together left a scar that Shen tries to bury under insults and anger. But as Gao Tu chooses his Omega over everything else, Shen Wenlang will be forced to confront a terrifying possibility. What if he himself is already falling into the same trap of love he despises? What if he too is going crazy for an Omega? The teaser carefully plants this seed. Shen Wenlang's anger at Gao Tu is not just about betrayal, it's about projection. He sees in Gao Tu the very thing he is afraid of becoming. That's why episode 12 is going to be such a critical moment. The audience will watch Shen Wenlang unravel, torn between his hatred for Omegas and the undeniable pull he feels toward Hu Yong. So, what can we expect to happen in episode 12? First, Gao Tu will officially resign, and this will shake Shen Wenlang's trust in the people around him. The secretary who was always at his side, silently supporting him, will walk away for love. That loss will sting, not just because of loyalty, but because it forces Shen Wenlang to realize that even beaters, who are supposed to be rational in his eyes, can abandon everything for the sake of an Omega. Second, Shen Wenlang's obsession with Hu Yong will intensify. His anger at Gao Tu will only reflect his confusion about Hu Yong. We may see Shen Wenlang lash out, perhaps doubling down on his cruel words, but his actions will betray the fact that he's thinking about Hu Yong more than ever. Third, this episode will prepare the stage for a bigger confrontation between Shen Wenlang and Hu Yong. We can expect Hu Yong to challenge Shen in ways even harsher than Gao Tu did, because Hu Yong is not someone who quietly leaves, he fights back. The episode will likely end with Shen Wenlang in turmoil, questioning his own principles, and possibly, for the first time, acknowledging the dangerous truth that he does not hate Omegas as much as he claims. In short, episode 12 is going to be about contradictions. Gao Tu will contradict Shen Wenlang's authority, love will contradict logic, and Shen's own feelings will contradict his carefully built armor of hate. The title quote, "Love makes people crazy," will come back to haunt him, because by the end of this episode, it won't just be Gao Tu who seems crazy for love, it will be Shen Wenlang himself. This is why episode 12 is such a powerful teaser. It's not only about a beta resigning from his alpha boss. It's about how love shakes the foundation of power, pride, and prejudice. Shen Wenlang's story is about to take a dramatic turn, and this episode sets up the emotional breakdown we've been waiting for. Will Shen Wenlang finally admit his feelings? Will he keep denying them and push Hu Yong away even further? And how far will love drive him before he loses control completely? Episode 12 doesn't give us all the answers yet, but it shows us one clear truth: Shen Wenlang is no longer in control. His walls are crumbling, his people are leaving, and his heart is betraying him. The stage is set for the next big clash in ABO Desire the series.